Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Shraddha Madam and today I'm going to talk about books which I feel are literal gems. Like these are books which are gems in the form of pages and that everyone should read these books once in their life. And as someone who has restarted her reading journey, I feel that these books are worth reading and this deserves a mention. So let's begin. And before I have written all the names so that I don't forget any book and I talk about each of the book that I want to talk about. So the first book that I want to talk about is The Palace of Illusions. This was my first Chitra Banerjee book and I have loved it so much. Now remember one thing that this is a fictional book. It is not the real story of Mahabharata, though it is similar, but some of the parts of the story will not match. So don't try to even match it because this is the story of Draupadi and it is the story of Mahabharata from Draupadi's point of view, so it is extra special. So don't compare it, okay? Now we haven't seen Mahabharata from Draupadi's point of view. We have always heard it from Krishna's or Arjuna's point of view. So this was something new, something that has not been done before. So that is why it was very unique to read this. Things that I loved reading in this book was first the chapter of Draupadi's Vastraharan. It was very heartbreaking to read and what was going through her mind, why she was dragged through the court and humiliated, and it was very heartbreaking to read her point of view of everything that happened and what was going through her mind. The second thing that I loved reading was Bhishma Pitama's conversation with Karna. Now, Karna is a character which has been wronged by history. Everyone knows that whatever happened with Karna is wrong, and it is actually wrong. So, understanding his point of view, his thought process of what was going through his mind when he was fighting that battle, when he was forced to fight against his brothers, is what really, really touched my heart. I love reading that part a lot. In fact, I love reading it the most. The third thing that I loved reading was Draupadi's conversations with Krishna while she is, while she is like towards the end of her life and she is having that conversations with him of everything that happened with her life. And those little conversations make you feel like you need someone like Krishna in your life. Like you feel closer to God in ways. And I really love reading those parts, and that is why I usually read this book. The next book that I want to talk about is Ghachar Gochar. Now, this is by Vivek Shanbag and it's an Indian author. It is a translated book. So, this is a very, it is a story of a family who somehow has gotten rich and how they deal with this new sudden, financial abundance that they have gotten. It is that story and how the family changes, how their values changes, how they behave with this newfound wealth that they have. And this story is very, what do you say, disturbing and kind of twisted, and the way it ends is also what makes it more interesting, and I love the ending of this book a lot. So do give this a try. Ghachar Gochar by Vivek Shambhag. The next is Almond. Now this I feel is written by South Korean author. I'm not sure, I don't remember the name of the author, but I will obviously mention it over you. And this book is so special. It is about a child, a kid who doesn't feel emotions, who doesn't feel anger, hatred, sadness, hurt, pain, anything, not even love. He doesn't feel any emotions, and it is his journey of how he lives his life once he is forced to live his life alone, away from his grandmother who once supported him in his life, but now he's forced to live his life alone. And it is that, and it is so heartbreaking and so sad, but still it is so heartwarming at the same time. And I love how this book ends because I was like, just please don't end it on a sad note. Please don't let it be a sad note. And it was just that. It was not a sad note. The next book is The Kite Runner. This was my first Khalid Hosseini book, and I knew that this is going to be a sad book. I obviously knew it even before the beginning. And some weirdo even gave me the spoiler of this book, but I still read it, and it was so good. Like the story of Amir and Hassan is something that will always be in my heart, and I will never forget Hassan and everything that happened. The story of Amir, of how a child does a certain things. He doesn't know if he's what he's doing is right or wrong, but somewhere deep in his heart he knows that he is wrong. But he still chooses to do the wrong thing because he wants love. He just wants to feel loved by his father, and he doesn't want to ask for it. He doesn't want to ask for his love, and in that process he does some very very bad things, and some things which he doesn't even realize will affect his future, the future of Hassan, the future of his father, and everybody's. Now this book is heartbreaking, and I was so, this book will also make you hopeful in ways, hopeful towards the end of the chapters, that please don't let this be a sad book. Like, make, just do something and let this book be a little happy ending in its own way. Don't end it on a sad note. And this was just that. This book is filled with loyalty, betrayal at the same time. It is filled with sadness, but it is still heartwarming, and it will make you cry or either give you goosebumps. And it is also very sad. Now, the third book is one of my favorites, Mystery Thrillers, Wrong Time, Wrong Place. Now, I have recently started reading Mystery Thrillers, though it has been a few months, and I am enjoying Mystery Thrillers like anything. And this was one of my favorite books, Wrong Time, Wrong Place by Julian McAllister. I have talked about this a lot many times, but I'm always going to talk about this because it is such a good book. If you are into science stuff, if you like time travel and everything related to concepts of science, and you will enjoy this book. It is not entirely science, but it is based on the concept of time travel, so keep that in mind. Like, the storyline of this book was so damn good. I was like, okay, now this is how you write a story, this is how you end a story, and this is the way the plot twists are supposed to be done. It is so damn good. You're going to enjoy this book for sure. I'm going to never going to stop recommending this book because it is so damn good. The next book is A Thousand Boy Kisses. Now, this is a love story, so keep that in mind. It is a teen romance story, and it is very, very, very heartbreaking and very sad. And the story of Poppy and Moon will always stay in my heart. Like, I'm never going to forget this. I have sobbed so much while reading this book. Like, I just couldn't stop crying. It was that sad. It was so, so, so sad. And just for that, do read this book. Okay, one of the last books that I read was Convenience Store Woman, and it is written by Sayaka Murama. It is a Japanese novel, and you can literally read it in a day. Now, this book, you know how sometimes we are so comfortable in our lives, in the way we live our lives, that we don't care about everything that is going on. But imagine you are a 36-year-old woman, you have almost half your life worked as a convenience store worker, and you're pretty stable. You are happy, you are independent, you pay your own rent, you enjoy the way you live. You are not dependent on anyone, you live by yourself. But for some reason, society doesn't seem to accept that. Society doesn't seem satisfied with your happiness, and they keep telling you, asking you questions about when are you going to find a stable job, when are you going to get married, if you're going to get married, and questions like that. And then you think that maybe you should start living your life according to societal norms because you think that you are not normal. And when you do start living according to the societal norms, you start feeling that you're not happy now, that your happiness existed in the convenience store because that convenience store was your whole world. Your life revolved around that store. So now you want to start living your life according to your happiness. What you feel is will be happy for you. So this book is that, and it is kind of so relatable that it is kind of scary. I kept asking myself, am I living my life like Kiko? Am I Kiko in ways? Are we all Kiko in ways that we don't really know, understand? So do read this book. One of the last books that I want to recommend is The Hen Who Dreamed to Fly. It's written by a South Korean author. I will mention the name over here, and it is very short. You can read it in a day. I think it is like 100 pages. And this book is written from the perspective of a hen who has lived all her life laying eggs for her owners, but now she wants to become a mother. She is so, tired from laying eggs that she, for once, wants to hatch an egg, and she wants to sit on an egg, warm it, and like hatch it. And she just wants to be a mother. She wants to raise a chick. She wants to she wants to experience it mother. Now, this book is written not for everyone. The audience of this book might be limited. And the author knows that, that is why she has written this book. So if you're not into these themes and don't pick it up, you're not going to like it. But if you think of this book from the perspective of a woman, then you will find it very heartbreaking. And even if you do this from the perspective of the hen, you will still find it heartbreaking, because the journey of motherhood of the hen is so sad and so heartbreaking that it will make you question a lot of things that what women go through in their lives. So do read this book now. These were my recommendations. I have loved reading these books, and I feel that everyone should read it for once. And if you have read this book and if you have enjoyed it, then do let me know in the comment section. Also, if you have any recommendations for me to read, if you want me to read any book, then do let me know in the comment section. I will do that, and I obviously love reading. Okay, so that's it for today's video. If you like the video, then like it and comment and subscribe to my channel.